Hi, and welcome to an episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter, where it is Crossbow Forum Monday. Yeah, and I think we've got another pretty good show for you today. But before we get into that, though, remember, hit that subscribe button down below, hit that all notification bell, share this video with your family, friends, your worst enemy. Let's see, and leave me a comment and give these videos a thumbs up. Okay. Like I said, today is Crossbow Forum Monday, and the question for today is, what kind of target should I get? Good question. Because there's a lot of different targets out there. So let's just hop over to the question of the day. And it says, this was at 40 yards of the Raven R10. My question is, do I need a sturdier target to quit destroying my fletchings? Practice tip was taken off, not lost. Okay. So, like I said, good question. Okay. So, there's a lot of different targets out there. Some are cheap, some are more expensive, some you want to stay away from, and all that kind of good stuff. So let's just hop on back over here, and we're going to go over to Amazon. Why Amazon? Because they have a lot of selection of targets. Okay, so what kind of target? So SpyderWeb, they have some excellent targets. They have what they call the no speed limit targets. That's what I have. I have two of them. They work great. They stop my arrows with no issues, none whatsoever. But when you're also thinking about a target, you need to think about a broadhead target too. So the SpyderWebs are only for targets like your field tips. Okay, for target practice. The same thing with the blocks. Some blocks you can use your broadheads on them. Some blocks you can use just your field tip. Again, also you notice the speed of the target. Okay, like this one here, up to 500 feet or more. Same thing here. This target here, let's see the block. Let's see if it gives a speed on the block. Stops all field tips and broadheads. Get that out of there. But it really doesn't give a speed. So you always want you want to know your speed. And you got these type of bags, 450 feet per second type. You got the black hole. I've got a black hole, but with my crossbow, the NXT 400, it blows right through them. Same thing with a Hurricane. Blows right, in my opinion, it blows right through them. So you got a lot of SpyderWeb, you got a lot of Gen X targets here. Yellow Jacket, I got a Yellow Jacket and it blows right through it. So the big shots are good. Now the 3D archery targets, you got to be real careful with those, because I have a 3D. I got one like, let's see. Yeah, I think it's like this one here. Blows right through them. So you want to get a more expensive 3D target, in my opinion. But you got to be these big shots, SpyderWebs. You probably want to stay away from the cheaper speed bags. They have a tendency of blowing right through them after a few shots. So, I mean, there's different varieties of that. So, again, it's going to be your preference on what you do with your crossbow. If you got a slower crossbow, a cheaper target would probably be just fine. If you got a slower crossbow. But again, if you're going to eventually want to bump up to a faster crossbow, you're going to spend a lot of money on bags. I've done a DDY or DYI or DY whatever, do-it-yourself bag that I tried. The only thing with that is that I used plastic bags, and when I shot into it, the heat from the crossbow, it transferred onto the arrows themselves. So I mean, there's probably other materials out there you can use for the DDY or DD or whatever, the do-it-yourself ones. Probably find some other materials. But again, I would stay away from some of those cheaper bags. I'd stay away from them, just because again, you're gonna blow through them, you're gonna take fletchings off, you're gonna lose tips in them. I mean, just different things. The more expensive ones, I would say probably go with something more expensive. But again, it's going to depend on your budget. Because if you don't, you gotta remember check your background. Because if you're going to blow right through them, where's that arrow going to end up? So you got to realize your backstop. So yeah, that's just a short video on targets. Because again, you want to make sure you want the perfect target, obviously. But if you're going to do a 3D, I would go with a more expensive 3D target. Because the one I have, like I says, even with my slower crossbows that I have, it blew right through them. I mean, right through it. So eventually, I am going to get a more expensive 3D target, but I just don't know when. We all know money is a big issue with that. So, yeah, it's going to, again, be your preference on crossbows. I'm looking at to see if there's something here. I mean, the blocks are good, but the only thing with blocks is your arrow is going to get caught in them. When I say caught in, it's going to be hard to pull out. So I got one with my broadheads, and boy, is it hard to pull out. But more and more people are going with the let me go back over here. Oh, where am I? Oh, here we are. I mean, maybe a thicker one will be okay, but you got a good chance of getting your arrow stuck inside these thicker ones. But like I said, the SpyderWeb, I have one. It's an excellent one. But the morals targets, it's a more expensive one. It might be okay. But the thing about some of these blocks too is they're giving me they say easy removal, good visibility, lightweight. Yeah, but they're made out of stacked, they're pressed type inserts. And they can blow right through those too. Let's see here. Now what's this one here? That looks more like a compound type. Yeah, that's more like a compound type for a compound crossbow. So, yeah, again, it's going to be your preference on what you want, but I would suggest that you go with a more expensive target because it'll last longer. I've shot my SpyderWeb multiple times, and arrows go in only maybe 6 inches, 8 inches, and I just pull them right out with no problem whatsoever. And they also kind of self-seal. That makes it a little bit better. Okay, so I hope I answered your question on that. There's my wash machine making all sorts of noise, but I don't know if you can hear that or not. Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, just be careful on what you get. Even though they may say 450 feet per second, it might be okay for a little while, but some of those bags wear out pretty quick, especially if you hit them in the same spot time and time again. Okay, so I hope you got something out of this. Remember, if you got any comments, leave those down below for me, and I'll get back to you on those. So with that said, remember, family first. Take care of your family. By all means, get out there and hunt. And see you on the next episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter. And again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. And remember, these episodes are dedicated to my son.